Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call the October 23rd Board of Trustees meeting to order and ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. If the Deputy Clerk would call the roll, please.
Trustee Kashaba.
Present.
Trustee Saturn.
Present.
Trustee Nerdowski.
Present.
Trustee Ingraffia.
Present.
Supervisor Sweeney.
Present.
Also in attendance, Assessor Caroselli and Highway Commissioner Nerdowski.
Thank you. All right. Public comment, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Marge O'Brien from Mount Prospect. First, I'm going, you've got a busy agenda, so I'm only going to hold this to a couple of things. I've been back and forth with Paul Pyack on the whole idea of Freedom of Information Act. I didn't find the link. When I finally did, it didn't work. I clicked on names, nothing went. I went to the library today, Paul, on your suggestion about trying outside sources because it didn't work from my home. And it turns out that when you click on any of those links, it takes you to a Microsoft 2010 Outlook. You have to set up an Outlook account in order for it to work. So apparently, I mean, it's used, you said it worked within the building, but it apparently does not work outside unless you're emailing from an Outlook program. So that being such, I understand that you can just contact and request information just to contact Paul. All the other townships do have a Freedom of Information. They have a page. It takes you to a page that explains this is, we're taking you to this person. This is how it's going to work. I have Wheeling Townships here. They're all pretty similar. They have a form, and Paul had said that you've been expressly prohibited from requiring a form. They do not require a form. It says very clearly you can use anything you want, but it simply is a format. It's a way to organize and for the recipient to kind of curtail too much minutia in a request that might go on for 3 pages, but if you give them a format and they use it, it's a condensed and organized and much more pointed way of doing things. So
the FOIA on our website does not work unless you're using a certain program?
It is, the website for Elk Grove Township is, from my website 101 when I was at INA, is that you're supposed to be able to look at the front page. Your links are generally on the side or the top, but you're not going to have to scroll down to, the depths to get it. So it's about 2 to 3 pages, 2.5 pages before you get to the bottom. And it's very small font down there. You wouldn't otherwise notice it. Whereas the other, and I'll pass this along, this is Wheeling's. And so you can see the FOI on the left. And I went through Palatine, Main Township, Schaumburg Township, and they're all quite similar except for Palatine, which has the kind of bubbles at the top, so when you're scrolling, then everything bounces around. You've talked about transparency, and this is all kind of part of it. It looks like you're not trying to be transparent if you can't access anything. My other question is, because there's some other things, however, and I'd like to know when, as much as I like the O'Brien clan, when is Greg O'Brien going to be taken down as an elected official? When you go to the elected official page, look at the heading on the top. Everyone's smiling faces, except for you, Bob. No.
Oh, the picture.
I don't smile.
Is the picture?
You're not in
You
there.
don't have a
You're not
picture.
there.
Yeah.
You're
I
not
like it
there.
that way.
But, after
Okay,
2
thanks
years,
for telling us.
we're still looking at Greg O'Brien.
No, we appreciate it. I know Paul made a note. George Bussey, the clerk, he is in Spain, and Paul is going to be touching base with him when he gets back on how to improve the visibility of the FOIA link, and then, yeah, we'll get, I didn't even realize this picture was still up there, so we'll make sure we take care of that.
And I'll assure you that I'll just be right on the job looking for more things.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you. No, it's great input. Thank you very much. Any other public comment? Okay, presentations. We added, just in case, because it's so important, we just wanted to leave it on presentations one more time for the health insurance. There's nothing new, but we left it up there, just to, added it to the agenda just in case you had any final questions for Michael Balin on the health insurance. I'll leave it open for you, Michael, too, if you wanted to add anything as well. Sure. Oops, sorry.
Hi, everybody. Before we get into it again, I just want to make sure that every trustee has a copy, especially of the financials regarding the health insurance and the options that we talked about at the last meeting.
Bob doesn't, because he didn't
Bob
bring
does
the
not.
book. He wasn't here last time.
Here, Bob. Yeah, I got a copy, okay.
So kind of like Mike was saying, there's no real new information to talk about at this board meeting, but we wanted to use this time, as an opportunity to answer any questions that any of you might have since the last time we spoke, and then to drill down, what the route would be with the renewal. So really kind of open forum if anybody has any questions for me.
Everyone had their questions answered?
Will you be here when we discuss it down the road on the agenda?
You took the words out of my mouth. Do you want him,
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
do you want him to stick around? Okay.
Yeah.
Then that's fair enough. Okay,
Okay, that'd be good.
Okay.
great. All right. Michael, you should talk about the property and casualty insurance.
Good evening. I am here to discuss some good news with the property and casualty insurance renewal. Your overall premiums in the property and casualty are decreasing about 1.28%, and the workers' compensation is also going down, and the workers' compensation by itself is going down 3.45%, which is excellent because you rarely see that in Illinois. Workers' compensation in Illinois is an employee-friendly state, not employer. Overall, your premiums are going down 1.9%. No claims. Everything looks absolutely great. I believe I sent some presentations over.
You want actual
How many
dollars?
dollars? Yes.
62, well, go ahead, Mike, the
So,
workers' compensation.
Overall, the property, casualty, and workers' compensation is going down from $62,806 to $61,614.
At least it went down.
Yes, I mean, rates right now are remaining stable. The main issues that we have here are that you're in Cook County and you're a government. There's a finite number of carriers that will write in Cook County. The majority of the 13 property and casualty carriers that will write municipal business in the state of Illinois, probably about 3 or 4 of them will write in Cook County. The rest of them will not. Workers' compensation, even worse. There's 2 that write in Cook County. So there's not a lot of options for municipalities in Illinois.
Okay.
And you guys, your claims record, if you turn to past the premium summary page, it's almost perfect. You can see the only little blips on your claims are auto. That's probably one of your biggest exposures as a township, is that you do provide services to your residents where you're using autos. So it's very common that there will be incidents there. But what we don't see is, we don't see any property, we don't see liability, we don't see public officials, employment practices, and you have one work comp claim for $400 in the last 5 years. That's incredible. It really is. And, you know, you guys are very proactive. You ask good questions, and I think that's a big part of your success on why these claims are where they're at. And if you look at the back of the premium page, you're stable. I mean, you're at a level where it's really going to be minimal deviations. The only thing that is really going to increase your premium right now is what's going on in the industry. If there's any large disasters like the hurricanes, but I think we're going to be pretty much insulated. We're ahead of that renewal on that already, which is nice. And then if your exposures increase, if you buy new buildings, get new autos, that's about all that can really, and claims, of course, that can really increase your premiums. So you're doing an excellent job. And the carriers respond that way. So.
Thanks, Mike.
Sure.
Questions for Mike? All right. You'll be sticking around as well in case any questions pop up?
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. All right. Okay, reports. Assessor?
Good evening. You have my written report. The only thing I want to bring you up to date on is a couple of items. First of all, tomorrow we close for appeals for Board of Review. Up until this point in time, we have done 725 assessed value complaints that have gone to the Board of Review, so it's been a very active time. We've held 2 outreach programs for our citizens. Commissioner Patlack from the Board of Review and his staff have always been very generous to us with their time, and they have done 2 outreach programs with us, and we've seen between 65 and 75 people at these events. Not only do they learn about the Cook County property tax system, but they're able to file immediately with my staff when they're here. So that's been a big plus, and we've gotten some wonderful comments from that. There's another thing that has just come up that I want to bring to your attention. A couple of months ago, we were fortunate enough to sponsor from the Cook County Recorder of Deeds a program on transferring property, whether it be house, car, whatever, for a minimal fee versus will, trust, etc. Also, along with that, they brought with them the fraud alert if, in fact, there was a fraudulent claim on your property title. You own the house. Should be free and clear, right? Well, there are scams out there that will cloud your title where people will claim to own your property. Now, they have a fraud alert program with the Cook County Recorder of Deeds, absolutely free. You can sign up online. Great program. However, I was notified today through their office that there is a private company that is usurping this and putting advertisements out that they will do this for a fee. And it's inherent in us to get the word out that they are in no way associated with the Cook County Recorder of Deeds or the free program that is offered from them. And I will put an article in the next newsletter to notify our residents that this is a scam. So we need to be very cognizant of that. Any questions?
Thank you, Connie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As I said, George is out of town. There's a clerk's report just about a FOIA request. that was sent to us but wasn't for us. We directed these folks to Elk Grove Village. We believe that's who they were looking for. If you have any questions, reach out to George. I think he'll be back this weekend. Art, Highway Department.
I submitted my report. I don't know if there's any questions. Basically, we're just getting ready for winter. Finished with the summer items and looking forward to snow and ice.
Good stuff. Any questions for Art?
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Art. I too, I don't have anything new to add except for my monthly reports. They're there. Feel free to reach out to me anytime with any questions. I'll continue, as I have the last week or two, to just send out updates regularly through email to the board so that you're aware of things as they go on, so.
I just have a couple of questions.
Sure.
General about the food pantry.
Sure.
Is everything in the food pantry either donated or we purchase it with donated money?
That's correct.
Okay, and then do all of our GA employees work in the food pantry, or is it mostly volunteers?
It's a division, so they all have some touches on it because they deal with the GA and EA clients that need it, but we have volunteers that primarily are used to sort and pack bags to make sure that we're rotating product. And like I said, we want to make sure that we have plenty of bags filled for when our clients come through. So it's a tag team effort.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. All right, any other questions? Okay. All right, no correspondence. All right, now on to health insurance. Just to kind of get the ball rolling, I shared some thoughts last week about just an idea that I had about health insurance in which we could balance the interests of our employees with the taxpayers. So I'll just start there. I mean, you don't have to comment on that, but I'd love to hear any input that the board has, and we can go from there.
I wanted to state that, in case you don't know, Erica Renz is my daughter-in-law. However, know that she started dating my son after she started working here. I did not give her the job or anything. But I talked to my attorney, and he said, since I received no direct or indirect financial benefit from the health insurance contract, I can certainly participate in the discussion and voting on same.
Okay. Any comments about the health insurance?
Mike, which one were you saying in your email that you were recommending?
So I originally was concerned about the fluctuation employee to employee under the composite rates for both plans, both United Healthcare and Blue Cross Blue Shield. So I was looking primarily at Blue Cross Blue Shield, the age banded option one originally, and after talking to Michael Balin, he had recommended, at least, I don't know if recommended is the word, but he gave me some food for thought at least, that he said if option one was, is kind of where I was leaning, at least personally, that there would be no reason not to select option two. The reason being, the first two plan designs are the same in both options. In option two, the third plan design actually gave the employees more flexibility because you had the choices of both the smaller Blue Choice network and the PPO network. So it gave the employee, if they choose that option, to like I said, they have choices of the different networks. And obviously, if they are able to choose the Blue Choice network, the deductible's lower, the max out-of-pocket is lower, those kind of things. Did I get all that right, Michael?
That's entirely correct.
Okay.
So you're talking about the one on page 3.
Page 3.
Okay, thanks.
So I just,
That's the blue choice.
I just,
Didn't want to, that's what
I was concerned about the renewal benefits being an additional, the renewal of the same benefits being almost $50,000. I just tried to say, and like I said, to balance the difference of option 2, which is an additional $27,000, I proposed the township picking up $10,000 of that, and the employees picking up the other $17,000 through a reduction in the HSA of $1,000 per employee, which would leave minimum each employee $1,100 in the HSA. So it was just a way of me thinking through how to balance, like I said, the interest of the taxpayer and the employee, and how to minimize the upfront impact to the employee.
So that would be $1,100 for the individual.
Correct.
And how about HSA for family?
It's on the last page there, so you just reduce it by 1,000. So depending on the plan, it would be $3,200, $3,600, or $4,100.
Yeah, we went, when, a few years ago, when Andrea came up with the idea of a higher deductible and then a high contribution to their HSA to counteract that high deductible, that saved us $60,000 and worked very well.
No question. I agree. I'm just thinking about long-term minimizing our, we have to think, what the market's gonna look like in another year, 2 years, 4 years. And until we see the market settle, we need to think about minimizing our liability, the township's liability moving forward. And I'm just trying to find that balance, so.
I do like option 2 also. I think that's a good choice.
So, other thoughts about option 2 or another option from the board?
I like the blue choice PPO and with their age-related option. However, I don't think there should be a change to the contributions to the HSA.
Thoughts on that?
Just look at this.
Is that option 1?
No, just so I'm clear, so you're in agreement, trustee Kashaba, right? Option 2, the only difference that you have from what I had stated is the township would just, are you recommending that the township pays the increase?
Yes.
Okay, I
And
just want to clarify.
that the
stay the
HSA
same.
contributions remain the same.
Okay.
For the blue choice PPO plan, the age-related option 2.
Wait,
Just-
now, hold on, sorry, confused, are you just, but you want to offer all 3 plan designs, or you just want to offer the last one?
No, but I'm saying that is the smartest one for people, is the number.
Oh,
is-
sure,
is
okay,
the
but
blue choice
you're
PPO.
still okay with offering the 3
Yes.
plan designs? Okay.
Under option 2.
Right.
You're right there.
So
Okay,
it's
I just
all
want to make
of
sure I
them.
get the
Okay,
notes
all
right. Okay.
Option 2, yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Thank you.
It's page 3 if you have the same.
Page 3, third column.
I have a question. So on page 3, from current benefits to option 2, if I'm reading this right, the family deductible now is $6,000/12,000.
Which plan, I'm sorry?
Option 2, the silver at the top.
Okay,
So currently, the deductible is $6,000/12,000. It would go to $12,000/24,000
for a family, yes.
for a family. How many people do we have on that plan right now? Would that be at the bottom?
Well, we don't have, on the renewal benefit on the top plan, the G512 PPO Gold, we have 1, 2, 3. So 1 employee, 2 employee and spouse.
That's a
They would have, like I said, the nice thing about offering plan design, 3 plan designs is Michael Balin and his team will be available to answer questions, and the employees aren't, they don't have to stay with Plan 1, 2, or 3 that they have now. They could change the different
Right.
plans and make choices that fit them. Like I said, this is not an easy decision. It's just, like I said, they're tough, but that's why I think offering the plan designs is a good thing. Trustee Kashaba, would you be comfortable with any, I mean, maybe not 1,000, but a different amount, a reduction in the HSA?
Well, the thing is that over this time period that we have gone to the high deductible HSA accounts, we've saved a lot of money. And I think for the employees to have to eat this is going to be an awful lot for them.
Okay, I just thought I'd throw that out. Okay.
So what are we saying, the HSA will stay at?
Yeah, I think right now, the two
At how much?
clear, completed ideas that we
On the
have
last
is
page.
the last page. It would stay at, depending on the plan, it would stay individual at 2,100, 23, and 2,800, and family would be 4,200, 46, and 51.
And your reduction
My
was?
my proposed reduction is $1,000.
No, yeah, no, I'm just, let me, okay.
So that's kind of where we're at here.
Yeah, I think I'd like to stay where we're at too, just because those deductibles are very high and we are saving a lot of money.
Well, if someone would like to make that motion, so it would just essentially, the motion would be to choose the Blue Cross Blue Shield option 2 with the HSA dollars staying the same. Someone like to make that motion?
Yeah, I would make that motion. I make a motion that we use option 2 on page 3 with the HSA contribution staying the same for this year.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Moved by trustee Saturn, seconded by trustee Ingraffia. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Kashaba,
Aye.
trustee Saturn,
Aye.
trustee Narodowski,
Aye.
trustee Ingraffia.
Aye.
Supervisor Sweeney.
No.
Okay, passed 4-1.
Okay, thank you. All right. Had a chance to review the payroll and bills. Any questions about the bills?
Oh, question about the bills. I just had one question. The employment center, that costs $1,500 a month?
Let me look at the bill. Do you have a page
Yeah,
number?
I have a copy I can pass down.
What's the check number? I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head. Yeah, it's $750 paid out of GA and $750 paid out of town fund. Because it's open to everybody. So our GA clients are required to use it, and then it's open to all township residents.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I got a second question.
Yes, sir.
Is travel reimbursement?
Okay.
I see a lot of Starbucks. What are they doing at Starbucks?
They're picking up food.
Food?
Food from Starbucks, correct.
Okay.
What kind of food?
I can get,
Not any longer,
what's that?
not any longer.
When they stopped the program?
The Starbucks changed the,
Starbucks changed the process, so we were picking up whatever food they had. We could get you a list of what we normally pick up. It's just, I think some of the breads and different sandwiches and things
yeah.
like that.
salads, all the stuff that
Is
they
it
have.
possible to get like a report from the GA like that?
We don't get it anymore.
Well, we don't get Starbucks anymore, but I
Oh,
can get a
it doesn't matter.
report.
Starbucks, if Myers donates stuff, can we get what they donated and stuff?
Like, it'd be helpful to have a list every month
Sure.
of, Dunkin' Donuts gave us this.
Sure.
That would be helpful.
That's not a problem. So,
So,
Or
so
the pizza
food, you want
place.
a food donate, I know we keep track of the pizzas that we get from I'm trying to remember
That's
all
it.
the reports. I look at a lot of reports, so, we have the information, it's just compiling it in a report, which I'm happy to do.
I mean, well, how many pizzas are we talking about when they go to Little Caesars? Just for instance.
Each trip, I've seen them, I mean, I'm trying to remember, I've seen them bring up on one trip as many as 15 or 18, I think.
All right, just to make it worth the while of the employee's time and, the auto expense that they're getting.
With the what? I'm sorry, Dan.
The auto expense they're being reimbursed for and their time spent going over there. Or if they could deliver the pizzas or something. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, they don't deliver them. Like, we have to pick them up. Like I said, there's no way to, that's what the employees spend their time doing, in a variety of different things. They're caseworkers, so their time that's what they're paid to be doing is working out all these different options. They pick up food, they work in the food pantry, they meet with EA clients, GA clients, businesses that
I know what
have
they
jobs to fill. They,
realize that, but I'm just saying with the food, does Myers possibly deliver? Or does that have to be picked up as well?
they don't deliver. We picked all of them.
All right, none of them deliver. Okay, it's just that I wondered how many pizzas we were talking about it to make it
Over 1,000.
worth the time for
Over
someone to.
1,000 so far.
Oh,
So
I
are-
thought all right, so 1,000 in what period
Since
of
we've been
time?
working
Well,
with them.
since no, that's not every trip, no, it's.
I'm aware of
Well,
that, but
no,
I'm saying,
we'd have to look at what time period that is.
it would be good to know each month how much these places are donating.
Sure, that's an easy thing to
got
do.
to know.
So are they just cooked pizzas and you put them in the fridge and then you can give them to
You
people?
put them in the freezer,
Freezer and give them to the people at
yep,
the
and then they
food
reheat them,
pantry?
yep.
Okay,
We can
cool.
pop them in the oven at home, yep. It's been a good relationship with them, yep. Okay. Any other questions about the bills? All right, can I have a motion to approve the payroll and bills as presented?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Saturn,
Second it.
seconded by trustee Nuredowski. Any discussion? Excuse me, roll call.
Trustee Kashaba,
Aye.
trustee Saturn,
Aye.
trustee Nieradowski,
Aye.
trustee Ingraffia,
Aye.
supervisor Sweeney.
Aye. Okay, moving on, let's see here. Where did I put my property and casualty? Okay, any additional questions about property and casualty insurance renewal?
No.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the property and casual insurance renewal?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Kashaba.
Second.
Seconded by trustee Ingraffia. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Kashaba,
Aye.
trustee Saturn,
Aye.
trustee Nieradowski,
Aye.
trustee Ingraffia,
Aye.
supervisor Sweeney.
Aye. Okay, resolution 2017-16, regular schedule of board meetings. Any questions about those dates?
We
I
don't
don't
have
think
it
we
in
got
our,
'em.
we don't
We
have
get
them
'em.
in our packet.
I think we can approve it next month if we want.
No, that's the simple, hey, could you please?
I don't have them.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, thank you. Erica, I got one. We'll share. Do you want us to share?
Do you mind making copies so we have one, though? Thank you. Yeah, I'll share
yeah.
with you.
Should have been
All right,
an
so
email.
it's the, nothing new here, fourth Monday of the month except for December. Which we meet early, so.
You can keep it. I'll get one.
I'm going on vacation December 2nd. I can't wait.
Can I have a motion to approve, bless you, 2017-16?
So moved.
Who was, moved by trustee Kachaba, seconded by trustee Saturn. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Sorry.
Motion carries. All right, resolution 2017-17, office closing dates. Any questions about that resolution?
Don't have it.
I don't have that either.
Some have it, some-
email too. Did you guys see me in your email?
Nope.
I don't think we should get these days out.
Bob, do you need one?
I got it.
I got it right
Yeah,
here.
Andrew and I don't have it. Thank you. And the other one too. Okay, thank you.
All right. So we have, oops, sorry. New Year's Eve, President's Day, Good Friday, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, and then Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. The only thing I think it changed this year was because Monday,
Christmas is on Monday.
Christmas Eve is on Monday, so I added that in this year. I just wanted to point that out before. That's the only unusual thing, is because Christmas Eve fell on a Monday. So we can,
Okay,
that's the only change from last year.
okay.
You guys have these?
They do, we don't.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
All right, can I have a motion to approve Resolution 2017-17?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Kashaba,
Second it.
seconded by trustee Nuredowski. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we have ordinances 2017-05, the Town Fund and General Assistance Levy, and then ordinance
Yeah.
2017-06, the Road District Levy. So I sent out a proposal last week. Again, just, like I said, the last 4 years, we've worked together to minimize, actually had no growth in the levy, actual reduction. So I'm recommending a flat levy from last year, just as we evaluate this year's reduction to ensure that our reduction accomplished what we wanted to, bringing our spending and our expenditures in line. So with that, I'll open it up to any proposals or any discussion.
So you wanted to do a flat levy, right?
Yeah, I think while we're waiting, since we reduced GA by 13% last year and the town fund levy by 5% last year, we're in that current levy year now, and I think it would be prudent to keep last year's levy as we evaluate how our reduction has impacted township operations. It looks like if we stay on the same path based on monthly trends, we're going to actually have a pretty good match between our income and our expenditures, and with a healthy reserve and staying intact. Any discussion? So right now, 2017-05 in your board packet reflects the flat levy.
Okay.
And so, well, both ordinances do. Okay, well, can I have a motion to approve ordinance 2017-05 as presented?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Kashaba, seconded by trustee Ingraffia. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Kashaba,
Aye.
trustee Saturn,
Aye.
trustee Nuredowski,
Aye.
trustee Ingraffia,
Aye.
Supervisor Sweeney.
Aye. Okay. Any additional discussion on 2017-06 RD?
I move we approve ordinance number 217-06 RD.
Okay, moved by trustee Kashaba. Is there a second?
I second it.
Seconded by trustee Nuredowski. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Kashaba.
Aye.
Trustee Saturn,
Aye.
trustee Nuredowski,
Aye.
trustee Ingraffia.
Aye.
Supervisor Sweeney.
Aye.
It's Casualty.
Okay, under new business, item 6, 2400 South Arlington Heights Road property, the bid schedule dates revised. Send out an explanation, hopefully you had a chance to review it. So, based on the contingency from last month, it was putting out the bid notice based on the contingency that the liens or the deed restrictions were removed. I'm happy to report that the intergovernmental agreement between the village and the tollway, that both sides passed that intergovernmental agreement to allow us to remove the restrictions. Now we have to go through the process of actually having the release of restrictions paperwork approved by the title company. So they've looked at the paperwork. The release of restrictions is a legal document. It's been sent to both the tollway and the village to get their approval. We just got word today, late this afternoon, I got to clarify with Jason, the township attorney, but it looks like the tollway has signed off on that. But I just have to confirm that. So I know the village is reviewing it. We expect to have that in short order. So what I'm asking is to set the bid due date for 2400 as end of business, Monday, November 27th, and opening the bids that evening. So to give us the full 30 days to publish the bid notice, which we would publish this Wednesday, and set a contingency that the township must receive clear title before the closing on sale of 2400. So our anticipation is to have the release of restrictions any day now, but it's taken a little bit longer than anticipated, so. Thoughts?
So this simply changes the one date to
For
coincide.
2400, the bid opening would be the same date, the bid due date
Be
would
the same
change,
date.
would change 10 days, 17th to the 27th.
And it's the same date for the, that
That's correct. Thoughts? Can I have a motion to set the bid dates for 2400 South Arlington Heights Road as the bid opening, the bid due date as Monday, the 27th by end of business, the bid opening date as November 27th to be opened at the board meeting, with the contingency that the township must receive clear title before closing on the sale of 2400 South Arlington Heights Road.
so moved.
Moved by trustee Ingraffia.
Second it.
Seconded by trustee Nuredowski. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Kashaba,
Aye.
trustee Saturn,
Aye.
trustee Nuredowski,
Aye.
trustee Ingraffia,
Aye.
Supervisor Sweeney.
Aye. Okay. Next item, item 7 is the newsletter. Trustee Saturn asked to have this on there, added to the agenda, so I will turn that over to you.
Okay, I just had some concerns. I've had comments from people in the community with all these ads that were starting to look like a shopping
Okay.
mailer.
Okay?
And the other concern, I also, when Administrator Piak sent out this information, I just didn't feel like the money from the ads was worth the way the newsletter's looking, in my opinion.
Okay, we can remove the ads, that's fine with.
The other thing was, I feel like there's so much good information in here.
Okay.
Which we need, also a lot of it in GA, which, that's good, but I felt like, Connie had a couple meetings that were well-attended, some good information. Art dealt with tons of work after the microburst we had down in Elk Grove in the unincorporated area. And maybe they didn't voluntarily say, I want to put this in the newsletter, but I think we need to give a little more room to some of the other departments.
Absolutely.
I mean, even this print is smaller than the rest of it.
Yeah, no, there's all good suggestions. I actually talked to Connie and Art. I hadn't had a chance to talk to George yet. But Connie expressed that she would like some more room. We agreed on 3/4 of a page. We're going to set aside strictly for Connie. I talked to Art. And so essentially we'll have like a page, one and a half or 1 3/4, I think it was, pages for the elected officials that we'll put aside for them. If they don't use it, then we'll figure out everything else. I don't have a problem removing the ads. Like I said, it was just something I was working on to help keep the costs of the newsletter down. $1,000 each over 4 issues, $4,000. adds up, almost pays for the printing on a fourth one, but I'm not, it's not worth fighting over, but I mean, I think the suggestions are good. I'm happy to do that. I think those are great suggestions. I talked to Connie last week. I think, she's agreed to get us her copy as early as possible, which she always does anyway. That way we can know how much space. I'll talk to George and Art about the same things, and make sure they get their space in first, and then we'll take out the ads. That's not a problem.
Okay, and then,
I'm sorry, may I?
oh, sure.
You're talking per issue, approximately, I think, 20% of the cost of the issue is paid for by the ads.
Yep.
You know, it's something to really consider. That maybe you want to keep the ads in to help defray some of the costs. It's a very nice newsletter, I think it's very well done, and it helps defray the cost. And I think that we need to think in those terms of defraying costs, even for something as small as this. As Mike pointed out, you're talking about over the course of the year, it pays for one of the ads going out. Well, I'm sorry, one of the newsletters going out.
No, I agree. I mean, it's one of these things where it's, I think they're good ads, they're tasteful ads, we're partnering with people in the community. It pays for most of, the printing of a fourth issue, which I think is important. They're not, we've tried to mix the ads up with the stories. We've put them at the end, I think this time and the last time, trying to keep them separate, but this is all part of partnering with businesses in the community. It's about defraying the costs, providing good information, keeping the costs down. And like I said, it depends. I'd like to keep the ads, but I mean, I'm not, I don't think this is something that we need to, quibble about. I mean, one thing I would say is the nice thing about the GOA ad is we do that in trade with $2,000 in advertising from them to promote different services to that, so we'll lose that. And that's important, I think, because we get out, to have $2,000 in the GOA, to be able to promote our services, and we get quite a few inquiries from businesses that say, how can I help? I've read your thing about Operation North Pole, different things, and so, like I said, I think they're a good thing to keep. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, we're trying a lot of good things that help keep the cost down, but.
It's just that they're taking up so much room. I mean, the ads, it's just so many ads, and there just isn't much for for Connie or Art or anyone. It's all just
Well, the ads are
ads and
at the
GA.
back,
That's
yeah.
what it all
So
is.
if we take out the ads, we will have a newsletter that is less pages.
Right, so we pay for 8 pages,
Okay.
okay? So, we probably wouldn't get any ads into the 8 pages. So when you add one additional page, you have to add 4. That's just because
Right.
what is it, 111 by 11 by 17 or whatever it is. So you add 4 pages, so that's what they're selling is ads. And then, so we get a portion, until the cost of those pages are recouped, we get 20% off the top, and then it goes to a 50-50 split. Like I said, we were paying, when I took over, in an effort to save funds, we were paying, just under $11,000 in just the print alone for the newsletter. So, bringing it down, cutting the cost, by $5,000 and then looking for the ads, that's why we were doing two newsletters a year, and I thought with the cyclical nature of GA and the assessor's office, we needed to do more because you either come too early or you're too late. So not only cutting the printing cost, but adding in the ads, we've made a lot of headway into
Are you
driving the
saying,
cost down.
that taking out the ads would not reduce the number of pages? or it would reduce?
Taking out the, yeah, you'd go from 12 pages to 4 pages, or to 8 pages, sorry.
And how many pages of ads do we have? 2, 3,
1, 2, 3, almost 4 full ones.
The other thing is, the minutes from July, you said you apologize for the trustees for removing the pictures from the back, and that you would not do that again, and we're in here again. And not that I want my gorgeous picture on the back, but
Well, I said that I apologize for, there was an issue where
There
you
were
were
two
left
issues.
out.
Two
So,
yeah, well, you
there was
had,
a, okay, fair enough.
we would just want them on the back because I have lots of people ask me questions when they remember or see that I'm a trustee.
Would you be okay with me saying the front or the back, just in
Sure.
case, if we keep the ads to
Yes.
sell the back? I would be more than happy to say front or back, depending, assuming we kept the ads, but you would be on the front or the back.
And that if there would be more room for Connie, for Art,
I've already.
and if any of the
agreed.
trustees wanted something.
Great.
You've already got the room.
What's that?
You've already got the room for Connie. With the ads, you've already got the
We'll
room.
move
No?
stuff around. Like I said, this is the kind of conversation I always want to have, whether, after every issue or looking back at past issues. I'm glad I'm getting this feedback now. I would ask that everyone do this after every issue or whatever the case might be. These are things, I wouldn't say easy, we have to move stuff around, but these are things we can absolutely accomplish. And, that's not a problem. So would it be all right if we kept the ads? Is everybody okay with keeping the ads?
Go ahead and say
No
it.
problem with it.
I would,
Say what you think.
I would prefer not to,
okay.
but I don't know what the consensus is.
Well, I'm just
But I
trying,
would prefer to keep them in,
and I would too. I mean, it's not,
so we don't
not
have
a
a
vote, but,
consensus.
so,
You can make a motion.
well, I mean,
Oh, can't we just like raise the price of the ads and have fewer?
I guess you could do a lot of things. I mean, but, then you have to ask who pays, who's gonna pay for higher priced ads, these kind of things.
What do you save if you go from 8 pages, or 12 pages to 8 pages?
Well, you
does
don't,
it-
well, you lose, well,
Do you save anything?
so you wouldn't, you wouldn't really have room for ads, so you would just pay the flat rate of 8 pages.
Well, is the flat rate of 8 pages less than the flat rate for 12 pages?
We don't pay for the additional 4 pages.
Oh.
So they sell the company sells advertising for the additional pages, and then we get a portion of that. We get 20%.
So then it's actually financially beneficial for us to keep the
Yes.
ads in.
So, yeah,
What do you think, Dale?
Oh, if we had less and we charged more, it wouldn't be so tacky.
Yeah, it looks sort of tacky, but it would be nice, like I said, it's, say, what if one of the trustees wanted to put an article in or something like that? I mean, do you know what I'm saying? It's just that,
we can make room in a lot of different ways. Look, we have to make tough decisions all the time about like stuff. We don't put everything in there. Yes, I know it's GA heavy because GA has a larger variety of programs, but we can make anything work. Like I said, I'm willing to work with this board. I'm just asking you maybe maybe you work with me to keep the ads in. I don't know if there's the right word to use. I think these are all tasteful ads. We're not,
Well, the ads are tasteful, it's just people in the community have been making comments about that we look like a shopper paper. But that's fine, it seems like the consensus is to keep them in for now.
and
That's
And-
not a
and I'm-
problem.
and I'm committed, I'm committed to front or back page for the trustees. I'm committed to as much room like I said, 3/4 of a page for Connie. And Connie and I even talked to, obviously, there's gonna be things in the triennial where she even needs even more room than that. She's good about getting us her copy early, that way we can plan, and, you know, we can make that happen. These are all good suggestions, and like I said, I encourage you to come to me, anytime. I think these are good, productive conversations, so I'm committed to that, if that works for everybody. Very good. Okay. All right, the last item is videotaping meetings. Sue Ellen, Trustee Saturn, the floor is yours.
Yes, I just wanted to put that on the agenda again because we've talked about getting Channel 6 to video our meetings.
Yep.
Which be a considerable cost savings, and I want that to happen as quick as possible. And it seems like we are running in a circle. I called Russ Rowe at Channel 6 after the last meeting. And Paul, he said he talked to you, but you never asked him about videoing the meetings here, only at the Village Hall. And the whole point was that we wanted you to talk to him about videoing the meetings here.
I mean, Paul can speak too, but the initial conversation was that. There was, the conversation somehow focused on special town meetings, and I think that was because Ray Rummel had talked to Paul about the special town meeting that we had in January. So I think maybe maybe they just were talking about different things, but the idea was they were talking about special meetings. The subsequent conversation, just from the email Paul sent, it looks like he talked to Ross and inquired about videotaping or recording monthly meetings.
When was that?
This is on October 17th. And let me see. This is just from Paul's notes on the conversations. I, meaning Paul, told him I had received a call from Ray Rumble subsequent to the Township September 25th board meeting, stated that Sue Ellen contacted Ross and inquired whether the village would be interested in videotaping Elk Grove Township's monthly board meetings. It is my understanding that Ross told you, Trustee Saturn, that videotaping Elk Grove Township's board meetings would need to be decided by the Elk Grove Village Board. And then he also talked about streaming.
And then he called George the same day. Ross called George, and then what George texted me was that he asked Paul to give the information to Ross about videoing our monthly meetings. That was that comment you sent me the email about, when I wasn't sure who was emailing me, because I got a email that was a text from George.
Okay.
With no name, and then I got another email that said George. So in between, I called Paul because I assumed the email was from him. So
Okay.
that's what that was. But I talked to the mayor last night, and he said he and the village board the Elk Grove mayor, are in favor of Channel 6 videoing our meetings.
Okay,
He did mention they've made phone calls that have not been returned. I don't know who that's to from the township, but they just want to deal with one person to discuss the parameters and come up with a cost.
That should be George, I think.
Yeah. And
well, we've been rating, Ross Rowe told Paul that he did not have a rate sheet. It would be up to the village board on whether to do it. But
Well, the mayor told me last night they're happy to do it, the board and the mayor. Ross is happy to do it. Ross needs to come up with the amount it will cost.
Sure.
After he talks to George about the parameters. They will not be charging us more than their expenses. They will not be making money off of this. So
Very good.
I'm sure we will save a lot of money. So once George gets back, since he's the clerk, I think he needs to be the one contacting Ross. And we need to get this done quickly. The village board, so we don't have to keep paying $17.50 a month. The village board meets twice a month. They're meeting tomorrow, and then they're meeting November 14th. So hopefully, by November 14th, we can have the parameters, the cost, and they can vote that so we can get started with them. And they are happy to put it on Channel 6.
And that will be done here,
Correct.
okay, not
With-
there.
With their equipment coming here.
With their equipment coming here, and will it also be posted to YouTube?
That's a good question. And
No,
that
I
will
mean, I
be-
think you're right. So George can lay out, so I think the one thing we can do is, I think we have a foundation, the proposal, at least from the services that Laurel offers, we have an opportunity to be able to go and match with the village and determine, and make sure that we're all on the same page about them coming here. Like I said, Channel 6, you know, the cable is only part of the equation because that only goes to Elk Grove Village, so we need to have it online. So, you know, it's just a matter of us matching everything up. So I think George did that last time. So, yeah, I mean, we were waiting. I mean, like I said, Ross had never said anything. So, yeah, if he can give us a proposal, that's fine.
Well,
That's
he
all I'm looking
can't give
for.
us the proposal until we give him the parameters, so he
Okay.
knows the cost.
Okay,
He has to figure out the cost from what we need, what our requirements
Oh,
are.
we'll let-
Chan-
we'll let
Channel
George
6
talk to him.
would
Right.
only be broadcast in Elk Grove Village.
Correct.
and that's,
Well, you
So
can
it
go
would not,
online.
it would not be broadcast necessarily to the other.
well, no, I mean, I don't care if it's on, just
Well,
on
that's the only reason why
TV.
I'm saying that then it should be set to YouTube.
Right, absolutely.
But
So-
maybe the other villages who have a cable station can somehow get it, because that would be great if all the communities in our township could have it.
All right, so
That's
we'll,
something else we should ask
I
them,
would still encourage it to be posted to YouTube.
definitely.
Because even though the idea is that people that can't attend the meetings can see it, well, if they can't attend the meetings, they're probably doing something, and they're not sitting at home watching it. If you post it to YouTube, you can watch it at your leisure.
Well, they play it over and over on Channel 6, trust me.
As I said,
everybody
you can
wants
watch
to
it.
see that over and over. No, I think that's all good, so, yeah, when George gets back, Paul, if you can touch base with him, get a proposal, find out what the village needs to do to offer the proposal, and then, yeah, hopefully, come the November meeting, we can have something to discuss apples to apples, and, yeah, anytime we can save money, that's great. So, any other discussion on this agenda item? Okay, any other items to come before the board?
I'd like to say something. First of all, the last few meetings, it's been brought up a few times that I'm the one who had the idea of videotaping the meetings. It was not me. I just wanted a recording, a voice recording, so audio recording. So I wanted people to know that I did not want, didn't go for at first audio-visual recording, but it was the consensus after that we went with that, but it was not my idea. Number two, I talked to the mayor as well. He was bringing up the information to me about Ross and him connecting with Paul on this, and he didn't know what the kerfuffle was about it, but I hope that we have gotten that straightened out. Number three, the mayor, and this is the Elk Grove Village Mayor, did watch last meeting on YouTube, and he did want to state that how Kitty Weiner had portrayed his conversation with her was correct. So, for the record, that's what he wanted to put in for the record.
Very good. Okay, any other items to come before the board?
Oh, she has one.
All right, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Moved by trustee Kashaba, seconded by trustee Saturn. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Bob has to sign it.